Good morning, everyone. How are y'all today? Hope everyone's doing well. I've got a project that I've been working on for quite some time. Oh, go away, little thing. Okay. So I am just gonna keep going with it. I haven't done a Texas Gypsy style painting technique project in a while, so I am excited to work on this. Hey, San from Tallahassee. Thank you for coming on this morning. This is something that I did a while back. You guys can catch the rest of these where I've gotten to so far if y'all are interested in learning how to paint Texas Gypsy style. I have a video subscription that gives way more in-depth teaching through videos I've made. Y'all can check that out on my actual website, texasgypsystyle.com. So I've already used peacock, peony, and now we're working with tree frog, and I've pretty much already worked on everything, but it's kind of like in the process, it's like kind of at that turning point where it, you see kind of what's going on, but it's just really, because it's such a big piece, and when you work on big pieces, it's hard to see. Let me get you over here. It's really hard to see that vision, until honestly, until the very end sometimes. So last night I sanded down the top with my new belt sander, which I am in love with. If you guys sand down tops a lot, or furniture, I totally and highly recommend a belt sander. I should have had one long ago, but we work with what we have until then. Okay, I'm gonna sit on my little blanket here. Oh man, I'm packed in my garage like sardines, but instead of sardines, it's furniture, because I've been working on so many projects. So, but this has been sitting in here for way too long, and I hate it when that happens, but sometimes my own personal projects get pushed to the back because I'm working on other people's things. So I have a minute to work on this, kind of decompress and do my own little thing, which is good for the painting soul. So I splattered white paint on my project because I was working on something else. So it happens, and guess what? It's okay, because we can go back over it with paint. So the last color, my third color, is tree frog. So I'm just gonna grab my tree frog and just go over. And I really want to freshen up my color here. None of this is sealed. I literally left off where I left off, and that's kind of the good thing, or the nice thing about this painting style, because you can kind of leave off. Hi Cheryl from Spring Lake, Michigan. Your name is very familiar. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. But if you leave off, you can always, I am looking for this. You can always pick up right where you left off. You know, it doesn't mess it up. It doesn't, it's just because I work in with one color at a time. So this project has been sitting here for, let's just say, months. I'm embarrassed to say, but at the same time, it's okay because I work separate colors. One time I don't have to like open up, you know, 4 different jars of color, you know, to get this project going again. All I had to do was go and grab my tree frog and let's get busy, right? Hi from Thomasville, Georgia. I cannot see that far. Manny. Thank y'all for hopping on here this morning. I don't know, nope, Georgia's East Coast. I got my East Coast people. All right. And I think I saw Grandma. My grandma in Texas came on here. Hey, Grandma. Grandma Jean and Papa Cecil. Y'all can say hi. I miss y'all. I rarely go live in the morning, but that's okay. So, what I'm doing is I am freshening up my green. I already did it, and I'm using my green as my 3rd color, which is usually my highlighter. So I work from, in this case, I'm working from like a sunlight coming in from this right side, and the green is my sunlight in this case. And it's kind of working its way from the top right down to the bottom left leg. So it's going to be hitting a lot of just the really top points. I'm going to hit the top of this area, and it kind of does go a little bit over. It's an exaggerated sunlight maybe. But the reason I think of it that way is so that, hey Grandma, thank you. Miss y'all. Oh, it's so good to see y'all. So they're in Texas and I'm in Virginia, and I haven't seen them in a really, really long time. So love you guys. So I forgot where I was going. Oh, the sunlight and the whole thing behind that, it just helps me with where I'm gonna put my paint colors, and it's easy for me to explain maybe that way for you guys, and kind of break it down for everybody when you're using a lot of different colors. So I think that the way I do it, yes, it's like a dry brushing technique and everybody says that, but at the same time there's a way that I do it, like a step-by-step kind of, and it just really breaks it down and it makes it really simple for everybody to paint with color. So, and yes, you can use neutral colors as well. So I use a chip brush for all of them and no water. A lot of people don't get that, but there's no water. This is not blending, okay? So don't use water. And I frame everything out first. So really accents all of the curves and, you know, all the carving, the wood carving and everything. It makes it look really pretty. And it gives it a more finished look if you frame out. And by framing, I mean like, here's a box, this, you know, a rectangle. So I'm gonna come up here and hit all these corners exactly like that with my brush and do like so, all the way. Even here, up and around and down and here, okay? Like I said, there's a reason and there's a particular way that I do it if y'all are looking for your furniture to come out like this. I don't just go and like randomly do like, you know, like random little, I don't, that's why I say the sunlight, we're catching the sunlight with the carvings of the furniture. However, right now I'm covering up little white specks of paint that I accidentally got on here from other projects. All right, so, and I had already started doing my sunlight vision with the peony. Peacock is just my all over base coat. Y'all can see that. And then in the end, if you feel as though you don't want it to be as green or as pink or as peacock, you know, you can add more of the dominant color you want it to be in the end. But you want to make sure that you have done your framing with everything and really finished it out, because at that point all you have to do is go back and add color to where you want to have more of that, okay? So this one is a little bit tricky because it has this big empty space on it. So it's just a little bit, I don't know. It just kind of gets a little, because I want it to flow and not just look random, you know? So So here I'm working from top right to bottom left. I'm not going super fast. It's my guide, top right to bottom left. And on these areas, I like to draw your eye in because I'll have the hardware here and it'll look, hey Samantha, good morning. So it'll draw your eye in and we'll put a nice, pretty shiny piece of hardware there, a knob. So you have to always take that into account also, your hardware. Like we're gonna have hardware here and here also. If you use, if you put water on here, you're not gonna get this effect, this dramatic distressed look. You're not going to get that. You're going to get a watered down look. And then it's all going to blend together because it's ultimately blending. So, thanks girl. It's going to come together. I promise, one day. So, just kind of working with it and using what paint I actually dabbed on there to kind of work it up. And once you do it a few times, you'll get the hang of it. At first, it may not come natural to you, just like blending didn't come natural to me. It's an awkward, different thing, but it's, you know, learning a new technique. So, you gotta kind of just go with it, and, you know, you'll make it your own and you'll figure out your own way to do it in the end. You know, however it's comfortable for you to hold that brush, or, you know, maybe you like it to have a different look or view, maybe not right to left, you know, whatever your furniture goals are, or whatever, you know, that piece may need. You know, if you're doing a custom order for somebody, you got to go along, you know, with their decor or their style. And, you know, this is just another way to help get you there. There I'm just really patting, so that it's trickling down and just working its way down. Not heavily. I like to outline, frame all these little guys out. A lot of your Jacobean style pieces have some sort of design in them. And let me tilt this down some. Yeah. Down. Down there. And I'm even going to put do the green down here. I don't know if y'all can see that. A shadow. So I'm gonna hit the top of here. And just slightly brush the top. This piece has a lot of curves, okay, you guys? Like an exaggerated amount of curves. So I would say that most of them that I come across don't really have this much. So it's a lot to work with. But also it gives y'all a lot to, you know, think about and see. So I go along the bottom here and make a line because it kind of gives a like a shadow. And so I'm really just kind of brushing along this way, and I'm catching the top right corners of all this right now, all the way down. And it is not the easiest thing with the dry brush, so if there is a different type of brush that you like to use, that's okay, but at the same time, or a chip brush, sorry, this is how I get this look. So it's messy, but there is a reason for it. Here I'll hit the top here, and you can see I've already come down to this corner over here and done my green. But so all my green is going to be, my tree frog is going to be on this right side of all the legs for the most part. Like I said, it's more or less a guide for me. I'm lightly brushing this green on because I don't want to cover up the pink, the peony, or the peacock that I did. Hi, Kimberly. Alright, so here I'll work on this right here. And these are pretty easy because I'm brushing all the way across, and I will get up under this ledge and drag all the way across. And I'm just going to kind of go over what I've already done here to make sure that I've gotten all the these parts that I wanted. I'm framing out right here, and doing that. I'm just sticking with my top areas because I'm using it as a highlight. And even though I get it, you know, in these little areas, that's okay. Like, I don't want it to be perfect. I like it, like, you know, it gives it a distressed look, like it's been painted many times. And I don't have to sand anything. I don't have to make a mess, which I love. None of this is sanded. So, you know, I'm able to get all the colors on this little bitty spot here, you know, and I'm kind of framing it out that way it pops, and you have that dimension that those carvings have. You're not downsizing them, or you're enhancing it. And that comes with the framing, and it takes extra time to do. But in the end, it's worth it. It looks awesome. That's kind of how I frame out these bottom areas right here. And come up around the sides. Okay. There. All that gets framed. And then I'll come on these legs, and the legs are always fun because they're so chunky and curvy and carved out. There's a lot going on, and a lot to work with. So this is a really good way to handle all of that. If you're looking to have a little more structure in your painting, and you have a hard time going all willy-nilly crazy on it. So I break it down into these little steps, and you will be painting in color easily in no time. So now on this side, see how I have it, my leg looking like that over here? On this leg, there you can see down the middle pretty much. There's not as much green on this side, and there's more over here because that's where my sun, I say, is coming from. So I'll just have a few outlines like over here, but nothing too drastic. So here I haven't even started on my tree frog. Wait. some aggression. Yeah, I mean, hey, if y'all want to do that, y'all go on. Y'all go right ahead. That's what the belt sander's for the top. Okay. So here's my ledge, and on all pieces that I do this, I take my brush and I just drag it all the way across. And it already gives you some definition and like a little bit of a shadow. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna frame and think of where my lighting's coming from. And I've done this before to show someone. So really and truly, I could just go like this, watch. So I've taken this and made my line, and now I'm just going to work off of that. So now that's my guide, okay, of where I'm gonna put all my paint, my highlights. And so it's like this design and this design, they're flip-flopped. So like my rounded little parts up here are up here, and now they're facing down. So it's kind of like a different take on these now. So now I have to kind of change that in my mind. And work with that. Because sometimes I have to sit here and think, how would these catch, you know, shadows and light? So I mean, if I put this light over here, you know, look, you can see the dark areas, you know, which are going to be right here is where my shadows are. So right there, you can just put a light up and kind of work with it like that if you wanted to. See, the light's right there, and my shadow is right on the edge of that. So when you're in doubt, you could just put a little lamp up next to it and be like, oh, okay. And move it around, because when you move it around, it's gonna take on different light. So, but it doesn't have to be exact. Like I said, it's just your guide. So right now, basically, I don't have any green coming on this back side of any of them. And now I can really see with this light, you know, where I really need to put it. There's not much guessing now. No green, I see a shadow right back there. However, you know, it picks up back here, so that's why I'm gonna put that green over there. But I still don't want to cover up my peony and, you know, all the other colors. So I just kind of do a light dust over them. Kind of. So for those of you wondering what I meant by light and shadow, that's it. Literally light and shadow. I've just always been drawn to painting with light and shadow and things like that. It gives it a real and like a dramatic kind of look. And this is just how I've gotten there with my furniture. See, so my light is here on this leg, and there's no light over here. So put the light on there if you need some help. Finding it. I know it doesn't come easy to everyone, and it's not a big secret where it's at. Okay, did I do this? Okay. So on the side here, let me get this moved. So, okay. So I think tomorrow we're gonna finish up, and I'll show you guys how to work on the sides of a buffet using Texas Gypsy style furniture painting technique. And that's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern time on Dixie Belle's Facebook page, on their main page. Just about, I'm scheduled for every other Friday on their page. And if you go to my events page on my Facebook page, you can join that event. That way you get notified of when I go live. Today I just decided to go live, and hope you guys enjoyed seeing some color today. So I did put the products that I used in the description of this video, and you guys can click on the link below if you're interested in ordering any Dixie Belle paint or any of the products. So today I showed you using Tree Frog, and before that I used Peony and Peacock. So thank you guys for coming on this morning with me. It's bright and early, and tomorrow is Friday, so yay, we'll have fun Furniture Friday, and hope to see y'all there. Come and see me on Dixie Belle Facebook page at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So thank y'all so much, and have a wonderful Thursday. Bye.